Hi, my name is Rochelle Lamond. I'm a deliverance minister with Amadis Deliverance Ministry. This series of videos are designed to help you understand just what deliverance is and how it can, through God's power, break chains, curses, and other types of demonic oppression in your life. In this third video, entitled Body, Soul, and Spirit, What's the Difference? We're going to talk about the difference and how it's important in your life. Having been raised in church all my life, and then visiting and working in many other churches, I've discovered that American churches have confused the three essential parts of a person: body, soul, and spirit. I've never heard a sermon or teaching about this subject, but with my ministry it was very important that I understand this concept, so the Holy Spirit taught me. Most people understand what the body is. It's the container for everything else. It's the thing you see on the outside of you that you either like or dislike or are somewhere in between. It's your arms, legs, fingers, hands, head, etc. But what is inside is what is a bit confusing. Is it soul or spirit? Well, the answer is both. You contain within your body both soul and spirit, but the two are very different. Many people believe that they are interchangeable, just semantics, but that's not the truth. Let's go a bit deeper into this and see if we can't discover the truth of this and why it's important for us to know. Let's first talk about the soul. The soul is the part of you that animates the body. It's your mind, your will, your personality, and your character. It essentially makes you who you are. The soul can be wild or mild. It can be helpful or hurtful. The soul is our air traffic control center. It's our emotions, our perceptions, our interpretations of events, people, and places. Our soul is important, but it is not the most important part of our being. That place belongs to the spirit. Our spirit is that special place inside us that I refer to as the driver's seat. It's what should be in control of the soul, but unfortunately, many times it's not. When God made us, He made us triune beings. That is, people with body, soul, and spirit. Some of us refer to this as body, mind, and spirit, which is very similar. But I believe that there is more to the soul than just the mind. Here's what's important to know about the spirit. In the last video, I gave you a text from Ephesians 1:13, which says, "When you believed, you were marked in Him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit." You were marked as His. But what was marked? In Romans 8:16 it says, "The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children." You notice that the Spirit is a capital S, but in the words our spirit, the S is not capitalized. So Paul is talking about two different spirits, the Holy Spirit and our spirit. That's what was marked, our spirit. Two of Webster's definitions of the word testify are to make a statement based on personal knowledge or belief, and to bear witness. That's a powerful verse we have as Christians. The Holy Spirit makes a statement to God based on personal knowledge of who we are, that we are God's own. So how does the Holy Spirit know who we are, and what does that have to do with the soul and spirit? When we became believers and we were sealed to God, the Holy Spirit began to live within us. He teaches and guides us. His Spirit lives within our spirit, and because of this, our spirit gains control of the soul. The soul becomes submissive to the union of our spirit and the Holy Spirit. So you can see that the spirit of man, united with the Holy Spirit, becomes important if we want to change the soul, which changes how we think, feel, act, and say. This knowledge becomes vital in the realm of the supernatural. As Christians, Satan can't control our spirit because it's sealed with God, as we went over in the previous video. But he can cause havoc in our soul. He can poke at sore points, whisper lies about you and other people in your ears. Let's say your childhood wasn't so nice. He knows that, and he pushes all the buttons he can to get you to come out of spirit control and into soul control. If your spirit is not firmly rooted by the Holy Spirit, then the control of your soul belongs to the enemy. Before we were Christians, we only had soul control. Our soul is so used to being in control that when we ask the Holy Spirit to grow us and guide us, many times the soul gets in the way. Paul said in Galatians 5:24, "Those who belong to Jesus Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires." This means we must submit our souls to God constantly. Also in Galatians 5:16, Paul says, "So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh." Paul talks a lot about the desires of the flesh, which is the soul. The flesh of itself is nothing. It requires the soul to be animated. So really, Paul is talking about the soul when he says desires of the flesh. Here is why understanding these three are so important for deliverance. The body, flesh, is the shell. The soul, the controller of the body, is what animates the body and is our emotions, minds, thoughts, passions, etc. Without the Holy Spirit combined with our spirit, the soul takes complete control. The spirit can be controlled by two entities, either Satan for evil or God for redemption and freedom. There is no middle ground here. When we were sealed to God by asking Him to be the cornerstone of our lives, our spirits became entwined with the Holy Spirit, who seeks to transform our soul and body. Sometimes, however, He's being thwarted by attacks to the soul by the enemy. This is where deliverance can help. Deliverance can shut open doors that you may not have even known were open. It can break down strongholds that have been in your family for generations. It can destroy curses and cut ungodly soul ties that you probably didn't even know were there. Once deliverance has taken place, your body, soul, and spirit are aligned in the right way, and you can worship the living God with everything that is within you, and the Holy Spirit can do the work of complete transformation in your life. I hope this video helps you understand just a little more about deliverance. If you're seeking more information on deliverance, I'm uploading videos all the time. Each video will contain more in-depth concepts and tools for deliverance, so subscribe to our channel. But in the meantime, if you have more questions, or if you think you might benefit from deliverance, I'd love to talk with you about it. My wish, and more importantly, Abba Father's wish, is that you live with total freedom in Him. You can reach me by email at Rochelle@AmadisMinistries.com. I will personally return your email just as soon as possible.